wake up in the night to a cold sweat and the fear that perhaps I didn't make the right moves yet. To use a waiver, would it be braver to hold out for more and call this guy the savior? The 5-4 line, been on the wrong and the right side. When the stats down, you gotta look to the bright side. Or when the stats up, you better not slip. 11 other teams just hoping you will trip up. GFL, the greatest in the world, yes. #1 pick, you got the world at your doorstep. Take a bad trade, it gon' be met with a protest. The professional poised with the polish of a pro step. Believe the hype, yeah. Fantasy game got me feeling like the spice of life. Give me the spice tonight with Sean Curry and Mike.
Wow. Oh no. I don't know what just happened. The spice for life.
Give me the spice tonight. Sean Curry and Mike. Wow.
Thank you to Nick and J&M.
That's just delicious, isn't it?
That was something special. That was good. We only can go up from here, surely. I mean, can we top that?
Watch out, Jalen Rose. We're coming to get you.
Coming for you. Who have we got today, Michael? With the we've got some coffee.
We've got some delicious coffee from Acorn Nursery, 665 to 675 Canterbury Road, Surrey Hills. Get on them, guys. They do plants as well, so feel free to buy your missus some flowers to appreciate all the hard work that they have dealing with all the fancy stuff.
Fantastic. Now, it's pretty warm in here, so at some stage if the aircon comes on and it's a bit loud, just bear with us. It's probably, just 32 degrees in this room, so...
Or we just sweat it out, what do you reckon?
A bit of both, I reckon. We'll see how we go. Shout out to your second sponsor from last week, Michael.
Yeah, Athletics Australia. They're still going strong.
Still going strong.
We've got an ad coming up next week, so
enjoy the last one.
Yeah, just stay tuned, guys.
Alright, so we'll get into it. And wow, this is my first look at the ladder other than where I was. I just kind of looked at where I was last night, didn't look at the rest. Joel's on top, #1. So,
yeah,
7-2 win, bang, straight to the top 5 weeks in, so happy with that. And Josh won by the looks of it, but remains a game and a half clear of bottom. So, yeah, so
he's gonna need some bigger wins than 5-4 to get back up the ladder.
Yep. Okay, first matchup. I want to go into basketball and the fellowship. 5-4 victory here. So it looks like it was a pretty close game that could have gone either way. Looking at it,
Here we are.
Rebounds could have gone either way. So Toby's done well to secure that category.
Only 4 in it.
Basketball, Nick's 1 blocks by 1. So,
A lot of chopping and changing. 2
blocks and Toby wins, 1 block and he draws. Who have you got for me off Nick's side that played well, Michael, this week?
Well, let's not forget Westbrook. He's back.
He's back. 24 minutes, 32 points.
Shooting 70%.
70%. So Westbrook came back on and just wasted no time. He goes, how long have I got, coach? You've got 24 minutes, mate. And he goes, plenty of time. Went to work.
A couple of other things is Blake Griffin hit a 3 and scored 95 points.
He's had a good week.
Jeez. And Larry Sanders had 9 blocks. He did alright. He stepped up with not too much big man with Henson out.
Yeah, no, Larry Sanders looks like he's had a nice week there defensively. Bledsoe's done pretty good. I like Bledsoe, but the guy needs to get a handle on the ball. Stop turning the ball over. 15 turnovers. I mean, I know
that's the way they are at Phoenix.
It's not too bad, is it? But I mean, it's bad, but it's not terrible. But yeah.
But Derrick Rose,
Derrick Rose
looking like he's getting confidence back.
Yeah, so Derrick Rose, who's let him down? I mean, Kevin Love, your first round pick's probably not doing quite enough. Having a look at that, I'm not sure where he's ranked, but 61 points for the week, 23 rebounds, 3 threes. His field goal was good.
And while we're in this matchup, Mo Williams.
Yep.
Mo Williams.
Yeah, how's it going?
Ranked 5th in this week of all the fantasy.
Wow.
He had 35 minutes per game, had shot 51% field goal, 87% foul shots with 3.5 made out of 4, 3.5 threes, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists and 2 steals.
He's had a good week, hasn't he? 11 assists. Jesus, didn't realise it was going that good. Alright, so we're rolling to our next matchup, which is going to be Willow and Josh. And did Josh get his first win here? 5-4?
He did.
5-4, so he's done. I mean, at least you've just got to win, and at the end of the day, he's got a category up here.
And by the looks of...
He's got a little lucky.
By the looks of things, turnovers could have gone either way.
Blocks could have
gone either way. So, it could have been a 4-5 loss to Josh, or it could have been a 6-3 win to Josh. So...
his main contributor...
Josh's main contributor would have been
16 threes, 110 points. So that Miami game where he got 40.
Steph Curry ranked
number one.
Yeah, with 4 threes, 27 points, 4 rebounds, nearly 8 assists and 1.3.
Yeah, that's
steals.
massive. So that can help you get just a win on its own. Now, injury wise, how's he looking? Because I know that previous weeks he's been struggling a bit with injuries. David Lee's not yet to play.
Pekovic is now out for another 14 days, I've read, so...
Yeah, it's not
good.
He
got Pau Gasol back, and by looks of things, with no Taj Gibson, Pau Gasol's exploded.
Yeah.
You got some value out of...
David West came back.
Played one game, got 14 and 6, that's alright. Hopefully West can stay healthy for Josh, because it's not that fun going through a season when you've got like 4 or 5 injuries.
Not when you get 3 or 4. Nah, it's not fun at all.
And they're players,
players
that you shouldn't drop. Do you know what I mean?
The only one there is probably Pekovic. I'll probably drop him immediately. I mean, he's only going to give you 12 and 7.
I don't understand why you picked him up, to be honest,
but to be honest, there's not a lot out there, so I suppose. But looking across at Willow's team,
LeBron James
had a better week. He's assisting well, isn't he? He's showing Kyrie Irving how to go about it.
He had 7 steals.
Looks like Teletovic's cooled off quite a fair bit, 17% for the week.
I'm sure Nick will have a go at you how you pronounce that.
Teleport, telekinesis, whatever his name is. There's a lot of European players now in the NBA. It's a bit difficult for us.
Hold up. Willow picked up Lou Williams last week.
Yeah, how'd he go?
He did well. And now it's Larry out.
I reckon he's done very well. He's stolen, he's scored, and his threes are 11, which is great. His free throws very good, and he hasn't turned over the ball much, so it's a very nice addition. He was a hot commodity that was going to go. It was just a matter of what team to. And Willow's done well there.
Didn't get him the win, but nice handy pick going forward with Larry out for... DeRozan out for, 4 weeks?
Yes.
So...
Alright, so we'll roll to the next matchup. Gavin's won 6-3 against Ben's team. So Ben is currently 8th on the ladder. He's had a few losses, but category-wise isn't doing too bad overall. Just 2.5 games out of the finals.
Looking up here,
Gavin, at the results, Gavin hasn't turned over the ball very much, 55 turnovers, so he won that one. Most of the categories are set, 58 threes to 9. Ben scored 9 threes.
Wow, that's the team he drafted, didn't it?
Wow. Now, free throws is the only category that I think could have swung. Ben won it, so he's probably done very, very lucky not to lose 7-2 here.
Yeah, and in a future spice, I think he might be eating a hat.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't win free throws, you said.
And now it's won, so we'll look forward to catching up with you on Spice, Ben, sometime soon, in the next couple of weeks.
For Gavin, just had mainly a solid contribution from every player without a ridiculously elite player this week. Tyson Chandler is balling.
Erupted.
He's had 57 boards, so he's I'd say there's a fair
50-50.
Did he get a few double-doubles last week? I don't know. He must have had a fair week. Him and Jamal Crawford were his best players. Jamal Crawford had 16 threes.
And with no Dwight Howard either. Look at that. He had a 17-25
rebound game. Right, well, that flew under the radar. Right.
Bang.
Now, there's been a few, I'll get to it later, but there's been a few threes scored by individual players this week so far. Steph Curry's had 15, I think, just there. Jamal Crawford's had 16. So we're going to the next matchup on that, and that was my team and Nelson's team. 4-4 draw.
You're looking pretty. You're looking really good going into last day. 7-2.
I don't know how I'm going to explain this and whether I will also include an intermission with a video of how I feel about this. I've used a lot of Star Wars references in the past, but I'm not sure what I'll use for this. But I'm just stay tuned. I may put that in right now if I have.
Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
But sir! They're getting closer.
Oh yeah? Watch this.
Watch what?
I think we're in trouble.
If I may say so, sir, I noticed earlier the hyperdrive motivator has been damaged. It's impossible to go to light speed.
Okay, we're back. So if you saw a video, then you would have seen how I felt with this matchup. 4-4 draw, okay, so I better get into it. Starts off first 3 days, 8-1. So I've got 8 categories, balling, 120 points up, you're talking like 50 assists up, 50 rebounds up, 10 steals up, 6 blocks up, just comfortable, 8-1. 3 days pass, very comfortable, gets to Saturday, I run into Nelson at Mountain Gate at the ATM.
Oh, here we go.
It was Saturday.
What do you do? Put a jinx on
Was it Saturday? No, it was Friday. And he's like, "How you going, mate? How's your team going?" And he's like, we had a nice, modest conversation about our teams. And Nelson wasn't stressed, but he's like, "Fuck you, you're playing pretty good at the moment. It's not looking good." I was like, "Yeah, I just got to keep playing good. Hopefully they keep playing good." Anyway, gets to the weekend. My God, Nelson's team the last 2 days, 3 days. Can you just tell the people how many threes Wesley Matthews hit this week?
21.
21 threes this week.
Shot 55%.
Are you kidding me? How many? Show me the box score of the threes of the game log. Wesley Matthews, 94 points on 21 threes. Now,
The matchup started on the 24th. Rolling, going up.
He didn't play 5 games.
2, 2, 6, 7, and 6.
No, it must have
The
been...
matchup started on the 24th.
Yeah, that's American. It must have been the 25th. You can't have a 5-game week.
Well, would have been nice if you could have a 5-game week.
Think about it. He can't have played 5 games. He must have played 4. So he started off with 2 threes. I think, oh yeah, here we go. That's okay, bearable. Oh, 6, 7, 6. Last 3 games. 6, 7, 6. And I lose threes by 10. So I reckon if he scored 15, I'm only 4 threes down. Maybe a much more manageable margin.
What was interesting though, when you look at the trade you did the other week with Bosch and Clay, if you didn't have Clay, you would have lost blocks.
Why? What did Clay have for
Clay
block?
had 3 blocks for the matchup and Bosch only had 1.
Yeah, Bosch had 2 games, so he said at the end Clay had 4 games. So yeah, the numbers.
But still, you don't do that trade, you lose.
Yeah, I would have lost the. Yeah, so Anthony Davis, man, Anthony Davis had a quiet week. So technically, am I lucky that I didn't lose, or have I just completely choked? Like it's.
He got 9 threes out of Terence Ross, and he got a good game out of D Wade in his last
He got
game.
a great game out of D Wade, 27, 5 and 5, 61% field goal. He's a real good field goal team, Nelson, because I really gave it to him early. I was shooting 63% for 3 days, and then I shot about 20% to bring it down. Yeah, we'll move on. A player that I liked for myself this week was probably Chris Paul. Oh, Rolls Royce. What a Rolls Royce. Just rolls out there. Chest out. Yeah, I want to go 39 assists and 5 or 6 turnovers. That's how I roll.
Just beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Next matchup is going to be your team, Michael, who's lost 2 in a row. Aircon's going on.
Yep, sorry boys. Bear with us.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh.
Well, it's not plugged in.
Do you need this? Charged on.
Oh, maybe.
Right, we're back, guys. It's a bit louder. Aircon's on. Fucking, it's hot in here, man. But what do you reckon? We need another sponsor that does
I
aircon.
think, yeah, that's right.
Alright, so your matchup, Michael, you've lost 2 in a row, 6-3. So give me the update on that one.
It didn't look pretty early on. Like, I've been struggling to stay in the matchup the whole week.
Yeah. No Durant back?
Durant not back. What was interesting for me is I had Jack to start the week, and he didn't play until the 3rd day, and I probably could have moved him on early.
Yeah.
And got some value.
I did the same with Napier.
And I end up dropping him after one game anyway. So
yeah,
I just wasted 4 days from him. Jimmy Butler, massive, 105 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists.
He's had a big week. He's been a good
steals.
For Luke's team, who was his best player for the winning side?
He got some really good value out of Brandon Knight, Gordon Hayward.
Go down.
12 threes.
Billy Sonova was a good pick that we'll talk about later.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Jeff Teague's playing better now, 32 assists.
Going to the last day of the matchup, blocks and steals were 6 between them, and turnovers were, I think, a draw heading into the last day. I waited until, because he had all his games early, Zach Randolph ended up having a few turnovers, so I thought, well, let's just leave it 3-6. I could have potentially... Oh, and then when Zach Randolph did play, steals went...
Skyrocketed.
Skyrocketed. I wouldn't have caught it, and... to finish 7-2 was not an option. I'm never gonna. If there's a chance that I'm going to lose 2-7, I'm
you didn't have much choice there. You probably had to sit on the 6-3 as tough as it is. Well done to Luke. Who,
hold on, while we're here, look at Josh Smith. 9 blocks, 8 steals, 35 assists.
Yeah, he's had a nice
2 threes, minus his percentages.
Yeah, which are disgusting.
But
38% and 35.
And he got some really good value out of Mirotic. 4 threes, 39 points, 32 rebounds, 6, 5 and 7 blocks. 7 blocks.
He's done well. So we're going to move on to the last matchup. Joel's back on top of the world, 7-2 victory. He just rolls on this team. Downing...
The only real category was probably foul shots.
Downing's been in good form going into this game. He was just building a bit of momentum. This one hurts him a little bit. What's going on here?
Lowry, balling, Deron Williams played alright.
Lowry didn't have a massive week. Efficiency.
Minus your field goals, but didn't he?
He didn't turn it over and he didn't hurt ya.
Vucevic, that is...
Yeah, 41.
Fourth round. Like, that has to be one of the picks of the draft, I reckon.
Draymond Green's cooled off a little bit, but then I think from memory he had one really good game during the week.
And I got to shout out to Marcus Sol again. Thanks, mate. You won me some money, so thanks Joel for your boy. He had another huge week.
James Harden's just had a pretty solid. James Harden's had a solid week. He's had a nice week. They had a 4-game week as well, so it was on the cards with Howard out.
Joel's been moving, searching the waiver wire a little bit more this year, hasn't he?
Well, he's used 18 moves. He's always been a pretty advert waiver user in the past, in my opinion. 18's probably, I wouldn't say normal, but...
Do you think that some of these players that he's dropped in previous years, he would have tried to do 2-for-1 trades and got them done?
That's a hard question, hypothetically, to answer. I think he always uses the waiver wire, so it's no surprise that he's using it again. I mean, here's some numbers. I've used it 27 times the most. Gavin's used it 22 times.
Where have I?
You've used it 3rd at 19 and Joel's 4th at 18. I honestly think that Joel is, in the past, normally in that top 3 area, so he's not far off the top 3 again, so I don't think it's anything unusual. Morris has been very solid as well. So, just quickly skimming over Downing's team, who I thought when he played me, he just absolutely balled. He still shot 49% field goal at the top there if you just scroll to the totals. And he was pretty unlucky to lose free throw. So there's a category there.
Like, 0-0-4.
Everything else is pretty much set there.
Set
You didn't quite
there.
have the firepower to go with him. Oh, I'd say Tobias Harris had the biggest week against me, and he's had a very quiet week there. The same, that's stiff.
But he's
Macklemore, good pickup. I had him against him, so maybe he did a little bit of a scout report on Macklemore.
Thought he'd pick up your dregs.
51% field goal, 7 threes, 56 points. Yeah, he's a neat little player when he's firing.
And looking at things like
Cousins missed a few games, didn't he?
Smart. Kid Gilchrist, I wouldn't think he's of any value to hold.
Irving had a quiet week. He doesn't turn over the ball, Irving, though, which is interesting. Alright, so we're going to go over the standings. So Joel's first. Nelson, after the draw with myself, puts him at second. Gavin climbs to third. Toby's hanging around that fourth spot. He's been there most of the year now. Yourself, Michael, goes down a couple to fifth. I've just hanging on into sixth place, but have a 2.5 category lead over Willow and Ben, and Downing, who are all equal 7. Your bottom 3 puts Luke at 10 after a win, Nick at 11 after a win, and Josh at bottom after a win. So the bottom 3 won on the last week.
Good for the league,
Good for the league. Keeps it
interesting.
So we're going to go over now quickly. Just adding in, we're going to review the top 10 players of the week.
All right. So in order, Curry number 1. Harden, previously spoke about, had a massive
4-game week, very good week.
Nick.
1 game, bang. Westbrook 3.
Yeah, third, which helped him to his first win of the season. So
the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
So no surprise there. Curry, Harden, and Chris Paul, top 4 of the week.
And then
all had 4 games as well.
And then Mo Williams,
great pick.
Had 2 games, but played really well in those 2 games.
And Joel's very happy with this guy.
Marcus Gasol. Jeremy Lamb, he only had 2 games, but in those 2 games he did some damage. 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 threes.
Cousins at 8.
Yeah, LeBron James, Danny Green. Are you still kicking yourself with that? Are you still seeing a counsellor about it, or?
It's just the stocks. It's just the steals and blocks, 2-2. I mean, Tucker's not doing too bad, but it's just the stocks. 2 blocks, 2 steals.
Not getting to the foul line, but he's shooting 52%.
He's not a bad free throw shooter. That's a trade I probably would like to have back, but not much you can do about it. Danny Green wasn't doing anything like that when I had him.
Outside of
Tucker's hanging in there though.
Outside of the top 10, I just want to make a note. Obviously, again with Wesley Matthews, like that was just 21 threes, just unbelievable. But McDaniels looks like he's been let loose a little bit more for Ben's team.
Somewhat,
and he's going to need that with now DeRozan out for 4 weeks. Just gets tough for Ben, doesn't it?
He's had a really good week, McDaniels. For whatever reason, the coach doesn't want to start him and wants to put that black guy with a white guy's name, Thompson or whatever, Hollis Thompson or whatever, starting and playing 20 minutes or whatever, eating the McDaniels food. So whatever's going on there. We're going to move on to wave of the week now.
All right.
This one's tough.
There's 2 candidates. I'll give an honourable mention to Ilyasova. He has been rubbish.
Shit.
And then
we don't know whether it's his fault or Jason's kid's fault, but he's been rubbish.
And now Luke's just turned him into a different player.
Wow. Do you have his stats?
Yeah, I sure do. That's for the season, so we'll just go for the...
Yep.
Did that tick over?
Give me something.
50% field goals, 85% foul shots, but he only got there nearly twice a game.
It's still alright.
8 threes, 16.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, and not much else. That didn't
Still
really,
very good.
That didn't really affect the matchup. Like, you take those stats away, I still lose threes. I still lose rebounds. So even though that was a really good pickup for him, that's not waiver of the week.
Yeah. So what you're saying here, because we've obviously gone over it pre-show for this one, is that the stats that we're comparing with the two players are very close. And the player that I put forward, which is going to be no surprise for my team, initially I thought had it hands down, and when I looked at Illy's team, I thought, oh, maybe Illy's got it. And then we've had to use a different variable to decide it because the stats were too close. Illusinova was ranked high on the rankings, but it wasn't really conclusive because his free throw was only 1.8 times per game, and his turnovers were like 0.8 to 1. There wasn't much going on there. And
so the waiver of the week is Monty Eunice.
I'm pretty happy with him. I would have lost rebounds potential. Yeah, I would have lost rebounds. I would have lost what else would I have lost? I would have lost the rebound category, so I would have lost the matchup on that. I think there was something else.
There was another cat. You would have lost 6-3. Block maybe? No.
Yeah, it might have been blocks because
he had one, and you had to draw category at block.
Anyhow, what was his averages at least for the team?
57% field goals,
which is pretty solid.
Only 40% foul shots, but one a game, so it doesn't really hurt you. 0.5 threes, 15 points, nearly 7 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1 steal, and 1 turnover. So you'd be pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with it.
I thought either him or Illy deserved it. If I had to be an advocate for my own player, I'd say that Demo had 2.3 assists and 1 steal, whereas Illy, Illy had the free throws, which was only 1 a game as well.
And you also look at his game log. He had sort of like an average game against the Clippers' big men.
Yep.
But everything else,
4-game week helped him, so he had 4 chances to accumulate your average. So he bounced back on his last game, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Trade of the week next.
Trade of the week. Well,
it was one trade.
One trade?
Believe it was. You know what? I was a little disappointed that the Facebook blew up over that trade. Reason being, I don't like making a big deal over small players. Brewer, waiver player off the waiver wire. And if there was one player that wasn't a waiver player that should be, besides Pekovic, it'd be Carlos Boozer.
He consistently gets you, 12 and 6. He might have an alright game where he scores 18, but coaches thinking of changing their lineups around a bit. So
I just don't think it mattered that much to accumulate that much attention. I thought Brewer has at least. Kevin Martin's made it glass. He's going to be 6 weeks at least. So
8 max, if not longer.
Brewer's
when he comes back,
pretty good opportunity.
He comes straight back in and start doing what he's doing. They might ease him back in.
Worst case, Brewer breaks even with Boozer for 6 weeks. Best case, Brewer plays better than Boozer for 6 weeks. And then at that 6 week point, is Boozer still in a starting favourable position?
Is he injured?
So
is he at home trimming his goatee?
I don't think anyone wins it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I'm an advocate for not giving the best team what they want, but I think, Nelson gave up steals. He could have almost, he might not have beat me in steals, but he would have been about 6 to 8 steals closer to.
Let's just look at Brewers' stats for the week. 44% field goal, which my team's, even though I've won it the last three weeks, but the last 2 I haven't. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.3 steals.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then you go to Booze Hound.
Booze is, I'm going to imagine, had some good points and rebounds. So they averaged. Is that Boozer?
Yeah, but they're his season stats.
So Boozer averaged less points. He got you 6.7 rebounds. He didn't get you a steal or block. Turned over the ball once, doesn't hurt you. Assisted once to, I think, Brewer had 2.7 or something.
Yeah.
So you're getting literally there. You're getting field goal and rebounds because Brewer had more points than Boozer. So I just think it's just a nothing trade.
Nothing trade.
A
Why even here sitting talking about it, really?
I mean, if you want to argue about something, that Danny Green one for PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's like hanging in there. He's just like, he'll have one good game. He had 9 threes for the week. He's not shit. He rebounds well for a guard, but Danny Green's killing it. That trade I thought, deserved a lot more criticism than this one.
Yeah.
So maybe I got a bit lucky in that.
I also think there was a little bit of baiting going on, you know.
Maybe. In mind games, Michael, you've been sucked in before, so it happens. So
I reckon just, you know, someone was
people
just...
are going to throw jabs and test you.
I think people were just taking the piss, trying to get a reaction.
Yeah.
From,
so enough of that.
Keyboard warrior.
Now, I have to confess, there will be a trade for next week because the trade was made at 8:30, 9 a.m. this morning. 4 weeks ago, and on this, I don't know what's going on because I like stability and I like having the same players on the same team. So I don't know why I'm involved in all these trades, but it's happening. Now, I like I said, I like stability, and the opposite is happening. If you know me in keeper leagues, I will hang on to players for 3 years if I have to. So whatever's going on right now, I have no control of. Gavin came to me 4 weeks ago and said, "Do you want Mello?" I said, "For who?" And we couldn't come to terms on the players. Couldn't happen. Since then, Jabari Parker has become a relevant piece. Okay. Now in the first week, I was fucking worried. I was worried about him and Wiggins. I'm still worried about. Like, oh god. I mean, I tried to move him. Nah. He's a 2-category player. He's a rookie.
Jason Kidd's playing him 15 minutes straight.
See you later. Get out of my office.
And then taking him out and not playing him.
What am I going to do? I'm stuck with 2 rookies that are inconsistent as fuck. What am I going to do? 4 weeks pass. Jabari Parker. It's like, just get to go. Just give him a go, Jason. Jason Kidd was playing 15 players. He brought it down to 12 or 13 players. And Jabari got, instead of 22 minutes, where he played the first quarter, sit the second quarter, he got like 26 minutes for like a week. I'm like, oh god, he's averaging a steal here. He's averaging a steal.
You know what's funny there, Sean? So I have an acquaintance that went to Milwaukee, who lives in America, and he lives in Milwaukee. And he posted a thing on Facebook last week of a plane that he was going to Milwaukee. I posted a comment saying, "Can you tell Jason Kidd to stop playing 15-man rotation?"
15-man rotation.
I think that was, you know, I think your prayers have been answered.
Henson's injured from playing 4 minutes off the bench in a 15-minute rotation because he ain't warmed up. So stop playing them all. Now, Jabari man's been balling. Jabari fucking hit 12 or 13 out of 14 free throws, man. Pull up his stats. So the last 2 weeks, he's just given me a chance, and he became a piece.
Did you want me to check his last 14 days?
Yeah, 14 days. Go 14 days. I don't know his stats.
There you go.
So he's gone 49% field goal, where in the first couple of weeks, Roto World, the Shrine, said he will not shoot over 44 or 45%. No chance. So that's for the season, so that could still be right.
He's shooting 80%.
But he's shooting freaking 49%. Now, he wasn't very good at free throws early on. He's shooting 80% off 4 attempts, irrelevant attempts, so he's getting to the line. He's increased his points to 13.5. He was at about 10. His rebounds are at 6. Okay, so he was regarded as a 2-category player. So he's already included 4 categories there. 2.5 assists for a mid-tall, which isn't bad. And he's getting 1.5 steals. The main thing is the steals. He steals. So he does steal. So he's a really important piece of this trade. So what we're looking at here is Carmelo Anthony for DeAndre Jordan and Jabari Parker.
Is your back starting to hurt? Are you getting a little bit of spasms?
I'm fucking worried about Melo, man. I'm fucking worried. Oh, please. Dear God, not religious, but please protect Melo over this Christmas period and protect his back. I am worried about it.
I think you can get some back braces from Orthotics Australia.
help him out, give him everything you've got. We won't know who Right guys, just had a bit of a hiccup there. We're back. Just touching on, Michael needs to
bounce back
against Gavin. For this one, I'm going to put Gavin in. I think with DeAndre and Jabaria, who I think has a 4-game week.
He's still missing Dwight.
Yeah. I'll go Gavin just on form. But
I've got Maurice Bates, mate. So
must win week for Michael though. He wants to bounce back. Next matchup, 1st versus 7th. Joel versus Willow. Joel. So
yeah. No
I think Marcus Sol, Lowry, all these players are playing well. He's established.
But doesn't it seem like Joel's had like all of his matchups so far? He's had like 4-game weeks from Marcus Sol and Vucevic. So
I'm not sure. I haven't really followed it, to be honest.
It just seems like he's getting.
You might be onto something.
This might.
Michael, get your stalk on and have a look at his.
Have a look at the games played.
I don't know, mate. It's a bloody Russian roulette the way the total games work. So it's you get too lost in it. Yeah. Death and Taxes versus Downing. 10th versus 9th. Wall. Someone's going up. Someone's going down. Can't see a draw. I think
Durant warming up. He's been warming up this week.
I think
he's been warming up this week.
Cooled off a little bit, and Luke's starting to just percolate. So,
well, look at
Luke.
Those 4-3-4 block game that he had. Oh, that just killed me. It just crushed me.
Yeah,
and Durant's he's warming up. He's going to be pulling on the shorts and the jersey.
So,
yeah.
Next one.
Sorry, Dan.
Beno versus Toby. 8th versus 4th. Toby, I feel's not in form, but team's good enough to be a top 4-5 team at the moment. Ben's team hanging by a thread. I can't see the upside. Can you tell me how you see Ben winning, or do you think this is Toby as well?
It's got to be Toby as well,
I just don't think he has the cattle, Ben, at the moment. I mean, Tony Roten, the ship has passed. DeRozan, unfortunate whenever you lose a player
Rubio's still
like that.
injured.
Rubio's injured. Drummond's underperforming.
And Toby's got Mo Williams.
4-game week as well for Mo Williams.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I reckon this could be a bit ugly, actually.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be...
Wrong place, wrong time for Ben.
I reckon it's going to be bloodbath.
Next matchup. Nelson versus Josh.
Another bloodbath.
Davis had a really quiet week. I think he was ranked 10th out of the league last week. And he had a quiet 3-block week. He had one big 30-point game, and he had, I think, 2 inefficient 15, 16-point games, I think. Anthony Davis is going to be pretty good this week. And I wouldn't want to... With
all of Josh's out still?
Bosch is going to have... Bosch has got 4 games. Wade's playing the first of the 4. He should play at least 2, probably 3.
Surely Josh was still in the turnover category,
he will.
It's not going to be 9-0.
I think you're looking at 8-1.
Yeah.
I can't see another 8-1. Season over. Next matchup, Basketball versus myself, 6th versus 11th. My team demonstrated this week why I am like Leighton Hewitt, a battler. 6th spot, Richmond, equivalent of 9th. Battler. Nothing is for certain. I'll have my troubles against Nick, who has Westbrook back.
He's got a good team.
Yeah, I know. I've had a look at it. He's got his guards playing. Oladipo has 4 games this week. Kemba Walker has 2 games. The only team that have 2 games is Charlotte this week, for those that don't know.
When does Terrence Jones come back? Does he come back this week? Or
Mate, as far as I know, Terrence Jones can't feel his legs. Okay? At times during the night, he can twinkle his toes. Okay?
I thought it's Australia.
Jones ain't coming back this week. He ain't coming back this week.
Nick, 666 Canterbury Road, taken there.
Who do you got for the matchup? Mallo's on board. I've got Mallo for
4 games.
4 games. But, I mean, that's a place.
I reckon it's going to be...
He's practicing in the games.
I reckon it's going to be a 5-4 win to Nick.
Fair enough. Yeah, like I said, 8-1 up against Nelson and drew 4-4. So I don't know where my team's at as far as being able to be considered a likely win. So I wouldn't. Basically, underdog, just not able to guarantee a win. Yeah, that just about does us, mate.
I think it does. It's been a big spice.
It's been an emotional roller coaster.
Thank you again for the coffees, Acorn Nursery. Thank you to Thoughts Australia, and thank you for Nic and Joel. That was just.
We have the space for life.
I think I know all the words off by heart already.
On that, we're out. See you guys next week.